Hello, thanks for joining us. This is Xcite Media Group's WordPress tutorial. We use WordPress for every site that we build as its content management system, primarily for its ease of use and its great functionality. It also communicates very well with the search engines such as Google. And it's great for search engine optimization and just being able to keep your website up to date frequently and often. So when we launch your site, we will set you up with a username and a password to get into your WordPress backend. You'll receive that through email, and once you get the link, you'll click on the link and input your credentials on this WordPress login screen. Once we log in, it's going to take us to our WordPress dashboard, and everything that you see here is what we'll be going through today and how to update various portions of your website. Quickly to go through these, posts is basically going to where you're going to have all of your blog entries. Media is where all of your media files live, such as images, files, PDFs, and things like that. That's where all of those live. Pages is going to be the web pages for your website. All the content lives. This particular website has a slider right here on the front end. You'll see this slider going through. There's sliders of various different styles, shapes, sizes, animations, but they all live in this area here for slider. Testimonials, this particular site has a testimonials page where we can upload new testimonials as they come in from customers. Appearance, we'll go through a couple of the areas of appearance. You're probably not going to mess a whole lot with that. The only real area that you'll mess around with is the widgets section. We'll go through that. Other than that, those are the basic areas that you will be touching as far as updating your website. Users is where we set up new user accounts. So when we set you up, you will have one user account in here, and you can add new ones as you please. There's different levels of usership where certain people have certain abilities to do certain things on the site. It starts at admin level and it goes down from there. Admin basically can do most everything on the site, and then capabilities drop from there. So if you're using an external employee to help you and you don't want to give them quite all the functionality, perhaps you only want to give them the ability to edit pages, just the content on pages, then they can just be an editor level. So let's get started. Let's start on pages here. As we click pages, it's going to list every single page on the website. So if we go to the front end, every page from this Allegra landing page to all of these sub pages to this treatments page to all these sub pages, every single one of these pages is listed here. And they're all given a name. Obviously, the name is the heading of the page. It's the title of the page. So if you look in here, I'll click on Our Locations. Now when I open this up, this actually opened up in the Text tab. You don't want to be in this tab. Okay, I'm glad this just happened. If you ever see this where you're seeing a bunch of HTML code, you're in the Text tab. It's much easier to click over here on the Visual tab, and you will then see the actual content on the page. So in this particular page, it's got address, and then it's got embedded video, and I believe embedded maps in here. If we wanted to edit this page, we would simply put our cursor in the text window here, and we would add our content. Now, as you can see, this pulled in the style of the text below it, which is a heading 3. Now when we build each site, we assign heading 1s, 2s, and 3s, and sometimes 4s and 5s, as well as bullets, numbering. We provide all that formatting for you, so it's all pre-done. So when you're in your WordPress backend, you can simply use this drop down to assign what tags you want. A heading 1, you probably don't want to use that in the content area because all of these page headings, which will show up, for instance, let's see, if we go into our team is a heading 1, so it's got this nice red font and it's large. So if I were to select this as a heading 1 here, it would be that red font. If I were to select a heading 2, it's going to be smaller and a different color most likely. This is the heading 3 here, so as you can see, the styles are different. Now the styles, how they appear on the back end, aren't exactly how they look on the front end. So just know that as you're assigning the text, and don't be alarmed if, oh yeah, I thought this was red. Well, it will be red on the front end. If we assign it a heading 1, it just looks black on the back end. Paragraph is what you want for plain text. You've got the ability to change color if you want to, underline, italicize, bold, add numbering or bullets. Very simple. Now, one quick thing, if you get into your WordPress backend and you're in a page and you don't see both lines of this menu bar here, you probably don't have this toolbar toggle button selected. That basically, when you click that, it gives you more options. This is how we undo. This is how we redo. Basically works a lot like Microsoft Word. Now, if you're cutting and pasting from a Word doc or a website or something where you want all your text, your formatting of the text stripped out, and you copy and paste, we'll use this paste as plain text button here. Okay? Actually, in this new WordPress version, we don't actually have to use this button. So that's another good thing. I'm glad that happened. You used to have to use a paste as plain text button to paste in here and have it strip out all the formatting, but now you can just paste in right directly into the WordPress page here, and it will strip out any unnecessary formatting from wherever you copied from. The other thing we'll go through real quick is adding links. So say we wanted to add a link to, we wanted to cross-link something from another page on the website. We click this link button here, it's Insert Edit Link button. Highlight the text that we want linkable, click the button. Now there's a couple ways we can do this. If we were linking to an external website, say we wanted to link to, say this was a external site, we could go here and just paste in that URL. And when we link to an external site, we want to make sure that we click this Open Link in a New Window /Tab button. What that'll do is when you have a hyperlink on your website and it goes to an external site, we want that to open in a new window so we don't direct someone away from your website without keeping a window open, without keeping your website open. If we want to link to a site, to a page on your existing site, all you do is click the Link to Existing Content button, and now every page or post on your site will be populated in this window. And we can select whichever one we want, add link, and the hyperlink will be inserted. Having hyperlinks and crosslinks within your own site is very good for SEO, so use it often. I believe that's pretty much it. The rest of these buttons are pretty basic. Align left, center, right, indent. So basically a lot of the same functionality that you would have in Microsoft Word. The last thing I want to show you about Pages is how to insert media So if we wanted to add a photo, for instance, we're going to go Add Media. First, you want to put your cursor where you want the image. So for this sake, we'll just put it right here at the top. We're going to go Add Media. We can either select, if we've already uploaded the image file to our media gallery, to our media library, then it will live in here and we can select whichever one we want. If we did not have it already uploaded, we'd have to upload from our desktop. So we just do the upload files, select files, and we can then browse on our desktop. Or you can drag and drop directly into this window if you'd rather go that route. For this purpose, I'm going to select from Media Library. We will insert this image here. And once we select an image, we want to make sure that we give the image a title and alt text. This is basically Google and search engines do not read images because it's just an image. So the way they can read images and correlate them with the content on a page in searches is by giving it alt text and a title. So something relevant to that image and what's on the page. So now that we've got that set, I can select to align right, center, or left, or have no alignment. For this case, we'll just say let's align it right, which I like to use because then if you've got text on the page, the text will beautifully wrap around that image. So insert that into the page, and because this is such a large image, it looks like it's just filling the whole space instead of align right, but you get the point. Of course, once we are done with the page, we want to make sure we hit update. Now if it was a new page, we would want to publish it. It would say publish here instead of update. Now the other thing to keep in mind, we always install a SEO plugin on your website, and right below the window for all your content is this plugin here. Now this plugin will automatically pull in the page title and the name of your website, so you won't have to do much with that. But what you do want to do is add a meta description, which is basically a description of what this specific page is about, and then a nice call to action at the end is always a positive. It's got to be specific to each page, so do not just come up with a generic description for all pages. Make each one specific to the content on the page. So those are the basics of pages. If you have not saved it and you've made content changes on the site, you will be prompted. So this is a nice foolproof way to remind you that you need to make changes, or that you need to save when you've made changes. If you didn't mean to navigate away from the page, you can stay on page and then hit your update button. Or if you did mean to leave without saving your changes, just go ahead and leave the page, which is what we want to do. Now one thing as we look back here on this main page where it lists all of our web pages on the site, one nice little handy tool is going up to the top here for screen options. We'll want to make sure that you've got a nice high number here of how many pages to display. By default, I believe it's 20 pages, so if you have a large site or if you have a lot of posts, you'll want to bump this up, otherwise you're going to have to navigate through pages and pages to find the page that you're looking for. It's much easier to do it that way. So the next thing we'll review is blogs. Blogs are always created in the posts area. So this particular site is brand new and does not have any new blog entries. But to show you how this works, we'll click on the one that they have in here. It's a temporary placeholder. It works exactly like editing a page would work. Everything is the exact same. So you've got your content window, you've got your heading. Your heading is going to be the title of your blog. All the formatting features work the same way. You have your SEO plugin down below where you can add your title and meta description. Now the only difference here is that in a blog, we will either typically set up categories for you, or you can set them up yourself based on what different types of blogs you want to write. And the way we'll do that is we'll go into categories here. And right now the only category in this particular site is uncategorized. So this is a dentist, dental office. It's a orthodontics office. And say that they wanted to start writing a blog on industry news, something, some breakthrough in the industry. We could create a category called industry news. We'll add new category. And now it'll show up over here. So what we can do now, if we were to add a new post, a new blog entry, we give it a title, we give it the text, and now we can scroll down here to categories. Now ideally, when you start writing more and more blogs, you'll have different types of categories. We can select industry news, we can hit publish, and that new blog will be posted to the blog page. So here was the previous blog. There's only this temporary blog here. As we refresh, the new blog will post above that, and you'll see that it has the category of industry news. Now the public will not see this little edit button, only we see it because we are logged in. Same with this little edit bar up here. It's a quick way that we can get into our dashboard by clicking here. A quick way we can edit this page just by clicking here. It takes us right to the back end. So that's how you post blogs. We recommend that you post blogs as frequently as possible. It's great for SEO, it's great for Google searches and making you relevant on the web. Now the next thing I want to do is show you how to update your slider. Now most sites that we build will have a slider. On this particular site, if we go to the home page, you'll see the slides populate in here once the page loads. Now this particular page has 4 different slides. They correspond with the tabs over here, although these tabs on this site were not meant to navigate the slider. They're just simply links to each page. But the way that we change our slide images and upload them is by going to the slider section here. And here you'll see each of the 4 slides that are on the site. So if we go to Doctor, now in this particular case, the title of the slide does not appear on the site, but you do want to give it a title because that's how you'll know on the back end which slide goes to which image. So we call it Doctor. We can still, let's see, down here. So this is how we will insert a photo for your slide. We insert a featured image. Now if there was not an image already in there, we'd have a link that said set featured image. And what would happen is we'd click that button, we could go into our media library and select the one that we want to use. In this case, it's showing us that this is the one that's already selected. As you see, we've got a title and an alt text in there, as we recommend you do for all new images that you add to the site. Then you hit set featured image. It shows you what the image is here, and as long as we update or publish. If this was a new one, we'd hit publish, update, and it inserts the image in here. Now if we wanted to change the order of the slides, we simply go down here to reorder and say we wanted to put Invisalign first. We simply drag and drop into the order that we want and hit update, and we're all set. That's how you update your slider. Moving down, most sites that we build, a lot of our customers like to have a testimonial section. So we create a custom post type for testimonials. So if I click here, you'll see all of the testimonials that this client has. Now if we wanted to add a new one, we click Add New. It would open up a window, a blank window. And the way this site is set up, they put the name of the person who sent in the testimonial into the title window, and then we paste in the actual quote into the content area. Once we hit publish, it says update because I'm already in an existing one. Once we hit that, we hit publish, and it will go to, on the front end, a testimonials page that looks like this. So it gives you a sentence or two of the testimonial and the option to read the rest of that particular testimonial. This site also has a widget on the sidebar column that does basically the same thing, so that it's just that way on every page of the site there's a nice scrolling testimonial for people to see without having to come to the actual testimonials page. So that's an example of a custom post type and how to update testimonials. Alright, there's a couple things left I want to show you. Let's navigate down to the appearance section. There's a couple areas within appearance that we'll want to become familiar with. Most importantly, the menu section. Now this correlates back to adding pages to your website. Now if you've added a new page to your site, say we wanted to add a new page about a new treatment that this particular orthodontic office is offering, and it would go below teeth whitening. Say we've added a new page. Well, now we've got to get that onto the menu so that people can navigate to it. So we come into this menus section, and once we're in here, it's going to show us all the menu items appearing on our site. So as you'll see, the main menu is Allegro, treatments, rewards, blog, specials, FAQs, contact us, and review us. These indented pages are subpages. So the main ones, for instance, are if we click Allegro, that's a main heading. That's a main menu item. Meet Dr. Nazarov, our team, photo gallery, testimonials, events. Those are all subpages, and that's why they show up as indented. Now when we add a new page, if we need to add that to the menu, we basically go into this little sidebar here. We click View All, or Most Recent if it's a new one. I like to select View All so I can see everything. And let's say that I added a new page called Adult Braces, even though it's already in the page. We're going to select that. We're going to hit Add to Menu. And what that does, it'll place that at the very bottom. We then grab that menu item, drag it up to where we want, and if it's a subpage, we want to make sure that it is indented under the parent page. You can change the actual label of what that says. So say the actual page title is really long. Obviously a really long page title is not going to fit in a small menu button. You can change or abbreviate that by clicking in here and changing it in your navigation label. Once we have it how we want, we hit Save Menu, and it then appears on the site as we want it. This particular site has a couple different menus. It has one for the main website and one for the mobile. If your site has multiple menus, just make sure that you are in the right section here. Select the one you want and then hit select, and you'll see the correct menu on your screen. So that's how we add items to the menu. If you need to ever remove them, remove one that's no longer going to be on your site, you click the drop down, you click remove, and it's gone. The other area that we want to think about in appearance is widgets. Now a lot of times we'd recommend you don't mess around in your widgets very often unless they're basic text widgets where we've provided you the ability to add text or an image or something. On this site, all the widgets that we've created live in the sidebar column. We create widgets for you as a way for you to more easily add things to your sidebar menu. Now on this site, they have a widget that basically allows us to place a contact form and to place this patient login button. On other sites, you might see a Google map or a quote of the day or something like that. Now the way you would access those is by coming into your appearance widgets, and on this site there's nothing under the sidebar left because we didn't want to give access to anything on that sidebar left. There's no real reason to. Sidebar right, you'll see that there is a box for the Contact Us form, which is we use mock form here at Xcite. And this is the actual code that places that form on the site. If you come down to the next box, you'll see this is a visual editor box that allows us, this is where we have placed the patient login form. On another site, this could just be a text box where you could type in a quote of the day or something more pertinent to that. But I just wanted to show you the basics of what widgets look like. Now this one, if we were to click on the visual tab, it looks the same as it would on the HTML tag because all this is an HTML script for putting that button on the page. But we would walk you through how to use your widgets upon delivery. So keep that in mind, that you don't want to get too crazy with messing around in widgets because it could screw things up a little bit. If you have questions, we are always here to answer them. We're happy to help you with anything you need on your site. Our goal is always to create a website for you that is easy to use, all on your own without having to mess with us at all. But we are always here to help you, so don't hesitate to call. That's the basics of using WordPress. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.